When peace and security comes to mind, the most important thing is one's home. Without having the sense of peace, security in one's home cannot truly feel safe. The settlers of Neolithic Jericho were among the first to establish a tower defense system. The tower, sitting at 30 feet high, 30 feet in diameter, faced the settlers a strong sense of peace and security against possible intruders. This wall made it so that people were able to see danger coming from a distance away, enabling them better to prepare for any oncoming danger. The Wall of Jericho became the blueprint for many civilizations to sustain peace and security. It is the oldest permanent city to date. Among many civilizations, Çatalhöyük is one of the civilizations to majorly benefit from the works of the Wall of Jericho. Çatalhöyük was a very large proto-city settlement dating back to approximately 7500 BC to 5700 BC. It is the largest and best preserved Neolithic site to date. Çatalhöyük gave a strong sense of peace and security because of its architectural design, just like the Wall of Jericho. Çatalhöyük stood high off the ground and served as a defense strategy. The people living there had their homes built on top of the walls because of the strong sense of security. Its economy prospered due to the becoming a major trade area. Even the dead were buried within the village, showing how peace and acute the people of the village thought it was. In Figure 2-6, Sumerian artists used the two statues of worshippers to symbolize and emphasize the concept of peace and security. These two statues were found in the square temple at Ashuna and made of gypsum inlaid with shell and black milestone. The oversized eyes probably symbolize the eternal wakefulness of these two worshippers, praying to the deity for people's safety and sufficient food. Moreover, the folded hands in front of their chest in a gesture of prayer is also representation of people's wishes of security and peace. At the time, people just gave up the dangerous and uncertain life of hunting and gathering for a more stable and secure life of farming and herding, which is a significant change in human society called Neolithic Revolution. People throughout the history have always been showing their beliefs and faithfulness to God in order to acquire protection, prosperity, peace, and stability. Triumph of Shapur over Valerian is a rock-cut relief that portrays the victory of Shapur over the Roman Emperor. Shapur's victory was so significant that he carved the story of his victory on a mountain. Shapur also used this art piece to disgrace Romans by portraying Valerian as a weak emperor who was kneeling to the Persian emperor and begging for his mercy. The humiliation of Romans in this artwork gives a political message by showing the consequences of attacking the Persian Empire. In the art piece, Shapur is portrayed as a powerful emperor who is sitting on his horse. Since Shapur is the subject of this art piece, portrayed larger than his horse and anyone else in the art piece. Portrayal of Shapur's victory gives a feeling of security to Persians by demonstrating how powerful he is. The Egyptians were one of the greatest architects in the ancient time period. The Great Pyramids, Figure 3-8 and 3-9, are the most distinct and significant examples of Egyptian architecture culture. The pyramids were tombs that used pharaohs to live their afterlife with plenty of treasures, including paintings, jewelries, metal artworks, and servants. Egyptians believed that people could live another life after death, so they buried so many goods along with the pharaohs in order to let the pharaohs enjoy their afterlife in peace. In addition, such a great architecture, using it as a tomb with lots of treasures, is not just a chamber for pharaohs. There were many different tricks, traps, even false pharaoh chambers in pyramids that prevented. 1300 years ago in BCE, the citadel of Tyrans was built in Greece. It was close to the city of Argos and Mycenae, and with this massive structure, it only consists of rocks that was put together without mud. Around the citadel was an outer wall that was 24 to 57 feet thick and about 20 feet high. This gigantic wall was used for defense. The citadel lacked common defenses, and the people of Tyrannus had military strategy that made up for it and vital architecture. This relates to peace and security because the sustainability of building a better defense is what makes architecture stable. It is a human nature to peace and security in all that's made from humankind. The portrait of Augustus at Primaporta was a sculpture commemorating the peace brought onto the Roman Empire by their new ruler. Augustus' reign brought a new era of prosperity to his empire called Pax Romana, or Roman peace. The large statue commissioned for him as a symbol of protection he offered to his people, whom he welcomed with sweeping gesture. His armor helps portray his military power over the nations, and the cupid in his ankle links Augustus' lineage to the gods, specifically the sun god Apollo. His combined military strength with the gods on their side gave the people of the Roman Empire an overwhelming sense of peace and security for 2 whole centuries. The Dome of Rock in Jerusalem is the first great Islamic monument, which is known as the Muslim Shrine. To the Jews and Christians, it marked the coming of the new religion that was sacred to them. Noble enclosure was known as a big platform where the structure rises. It is believed that the stone is the Prophet Muhammad ascended into heaven. According to tradition, the Dome of the Rock was built to acknowledge Muhammad. The shrine is formed like an octagon shape and is made of gold, which emphasizes the fundamental quality and beauty. It had several entrances on the side. The structure's walls were covered with vivid, colorful designs and patterns. The Dome of the Rock represents peace and security because the stone that monumental building was built on is believed to be sacred to 3 religions. Chartres Cathedral, Virgin Mary with the Child and Angels, is a stained glass window that survived a church fire in 1194. The window is highly decorated with dazzling colors illustrating glowing angels flanking an enthroned Virgin Mary and Jesus. The stained glass window is designed not for light to pass through, but to illuminate the stained art on the window and glorify the centered Virgin Mary and Child Jesus. This imagery gave the church a grandeur and a holier appearance that soothed the visitors and gave them a sense of heaven on earth. Mary and the infant Jesus are adorned with halos, but Mary is also shown wearing a crown conferring upon her the status of queen or ruler. The white dove hovering over her crown is used universally as a symbol of peace. Bodeo is a statue of Christ and is located on the central doorway of the West Vatican in Almanis Cathedral. In this Gothic statue, Christ is portrayed as a caring man who is in the act of blessing anyone who enters the church. Christ is depicted differently from the earlier Christian depiction of Christ to fit the contemporary look by portraying him with a beard. Christ is standing on a dragon, and the dragon symbolizes evil forces. The statue is related to peace and security because this artwork is hopeful to the public due to the fact that Christ is being portrayed as a savior who is protecting people from evil forces. Additionally, this portrayal of Christ helps influence people to seek peace and security with the church.